John Woodcock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a pleasure to follow what I will say was a textbook speech from the member, from the honourable member opposite. I have to say that I agreed with a great deal of what the Leader of the Opposition said in his opening speech, and certainly with many of the passionate contributions from my honourable friends on this side. The last 8 years of Conservative or Conservative-led government have indeed put great strain on communities like ours. The very fabric which is holding our public services together, the voluntary sector, has been stretched, and that has had an intolerable impact on many, many people's lives because of wrong decisions that were made by this government over these recent years. We have to get justice for the WASPy women. We have to put schools and hospitals on a better footing. And my goodness, in my constituency, we've got to sort out our train system, which is even at the worst end of what Northern Rail has been inflicting on passengers. And we are now indeed in a dire situation after the monumental defeat of yesterday. This country is in a national emergency. But what, Mr. Speaker, I'm afraid to say, makes this almost uniquely serious a situation for the country is that this cannot be a motion of no confidence in a vacuum. Yeah. This is a general election that would give the public a choice between a government that is struggling to govern and a Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Chancellor who, I am afraid to say, I have not changed my view that they are simply not fit to hold high office. The public, Mr. Speaker, deserve so much better than this choice in the broken political system that they are being given. They deserve leadership to right the terrible injustices that have been inflicted on our communities. They deserve leadership to lead the public out of this Brexit mess, and they deserve a government and leadership that they can trust to keep them secure. Aside from the Leader of the Opposition's past positions, of which there has been much discussion today, let's focus just for a moment on the nuclear deterrent, an issue, of course, central to my constituency, which I have spent many years as an opposition MP working with the Honourable Member for Gedling, the Shadow Defence Secretary, to maintain the Labour Party's policy on the face of it being sensible. But I have to ask my colleagues, do we really think that with the crisis of spending which any future Labour government is going to inherit, do we really think that we would maintain a policy that will spend many billions of pounds on a future submarine system which the Leader of the Opposition will have rendered useless on day one by saying he would never ever use the deterrent? It is just not a serious proposition, Mr. Speaker. So, with a heavy heart, I have to tell the House that I cannot support the no-confidence motion tonight. And some of my friends mutter disgrace. I hear some of them tutting. I have to say that many of them have privately said, thank God that you have got the freedom to actually not support this, because they are wrestling with their consciences of wanting desperately a Labour government, but knowing that the leader of their party is as unfit to lead the country as he was when they voted against him in the no-confidence motion of the party those years ago. Now, the Prime Minister... Yes, I'll give way.
You've had yours, gentlemen, for giving way. And I can understand his dilemma. What does he think the effect would be in his area if we were to abandon the nuclear programme that this country has pursued for decades?
Thank the Honourable John for that question. The economy of Barrow and Furness, we are a shipyard town. It is woven into our history. There are more than 9,000 people employed directly in my constituency now, many, many more dependent on this, and it is a chance that, unfortunately, they cannot afford to take with the Leader of the Opposition. The Prime Minister has to reach out more than she has done in the chamber today. She has to unshackle herself from the hardline Brexiteers who have led her down the wrong path. But I will commit every day to give my constituents, to try to give them the best chance of better leadership for this country. And while we are in this impasse, I will do my very best to deliver for them. I've been pleased to work with the government to unlock the Marina project, which is absolutely vital to the future of our local economy. I'm working with them constructively on the submarine programme, which is bringing great prosperity into the area. Much more is needed, but I will go on doing that, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is an enormous honour to follow a speech as brave as the one that has just been given by the honourable gentleman.